Here's Lieutenant Gwynn talking. We had been there a short time, 5 minutes, when I heard some rounds fired near our first platoon. I thought they must have caught up with those NVA stragglers. Then everything opened up. The firing just crescendoed. They hadn't found the stragglers. They had run right into the North Vietnamese. I was out in the grass away from the trees when it started. The rounds were so fast and furious overhead, they were knocking bark off the trees. I ran to them. One round struck the tree I was crouched next to an inch over my head. I said, "Holy shit," and ran to join Joel. We all got down. Then I heard this sickening whump of mortar fire landing where I had seen our second platoon disappear. The most savage one-day battle of the Vietnam War had just begun. The 2nd Battalion, 7th Cavalry, had walked into a hornet's nest. The North Vietnamese Reserve Force, the 550-man 8th Battalion, 66th Regiment, had been bivouacked in the woods off to the northeast of McDade's column. So you've got fresh soldiers that had been waiting. They were the reserve. So that whole earlier battle in the Ai Drang with the 1-7 Cav, this Vietnamese group, the 66th Regiment, 8th Battalion, 66th Regiment, had been waiting in reserve. And now they just so happen to be in the line of march where these where the 2-5 is coming through. Or sorry, the 2-7 is coming through. Here's what Colonel An, who again, this was the Vietnamese commander, here's what he had to say. I think this fight of November 17th was the most important of the entire campaign. I gave the order to my battalions. When you meet the Americans, divide yourself into many groups and attack the column from all directions and divide the column into as many pieces. Move inside the column, grab them by the belt, and thus avoid casualties from the artillery and air. We had some advantages. Now, let me just talk about that one real quick. Okay, 2 things. First of all, get the battalion split up, right? And if you hear, and I always talk about the common theme of keeping things together, keeping people consolidated, keeping your groups where they can mutually support each other, his goal is the opposite of that. Get them split up so they can't support each other. That's number one. So contrary to that, what you should always be doing as a leader is trying to keep your forces as consolidated as possible so that they can maneuver well together and, most important, support each other to cover and move. Now, the second part of this is move inside the column, grab them by the belt, and thus avoid casualties from artillery and air. That's something that we still see to this day. We talked about it with the Chechen conflict. That was the Chechens' modus operandi to get inside and be right next to the Russians. They called it hugging. They would get in there and get in the same building as the Russians. So you can't call fire on your own building. So that's what the Vietnamese were trying to do. Now, what's beautiful about these statements, think about these 2 statements. This is beautiful commander's intent. Yeah. Here's all I want you to do. Split them up, get close to them. That's what I want you to do. He's not saying how to do it. He's not telling each individual group where to move and what to do. He's saying split them up and get close to them and stay close to them. This gives the guys on the battlefield incredible flexibility to execute that plan. Back to the book. We had some advantages. This is on continuing. We had some advantages. We attacked your column from the sides at the moment of attack. We were waiting for you. This was our reserve battalion, and they were just waiting for their turn. The 8th Battalion had not been used in fighting in this campaign. They were fresh. Spec 4 Dick Ackerman was the right flank point man in the recon platoon, which was itself the point of the battalion. Says Ackerman, we were going to the left to a clearing. We had gone about 100 feet when we heard some shots, then more shots, and finally all hell broke loose. The main brunt of the attack was right where we had been standing just a few minutes before. We hit the dirt. I was laying in the middle of a clearing, and bullets were kicking dirt in my eyes and breaking off the grass. Ackerman's first sergeant was standing, shouting, and giving directions. His shirt was off, and he was in a T-shirt. He lifted his left arm to point, and I could see where a bullet had ripped open the side of his arm and part of the side of his chest. He was still giving orders. We were then ordered to another part of the circle that was weak. It was facing the main area of attack. There were people running everywhere. We couldn't just open fire in that direction because our guys were there. We were on semi-automatic and picking off whoever we could be sure of as a target. So this just turns immediately into chaos.